Welcome back to Ladies of the Night. We have a
Hello.
lot to cover today, don't we?
We do. We have a lot.
More than I thought when I woke up and saw the D23 stuff, but we will check in with each other first.
How are you?
Good, good. Tired, but good. What have you watched this week? I know we did Ted.
I was waiting for you to lead into it, but how are you?
Well, so yes, I guess I will start then. Aside from our reading of ACOTAR this week, I have finished House of the Dragon. The season finale was Sunday. I will say overall the season was not very eventful, which is kind of a bummer because we wait 2 years in between seasons. The finale was pretty good. It had a line that has become a meme online that, I mean, honestly, like top tier. You may have seen it at some point. It's one of the brothers. He goes, "I'm alive, imbecile."
Oh, I have
And
not seen that.
I'll have to send you some of them because they're so funny.
The one I've constantly seen is from it's like I can't even remember the line now. But it's from like the main guy. That's been all over like my TikTok.
Like recently,
they'd rather like feed somebody to a dragon or something.
Yeah. That's Damon, which is Matt Smith's character. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That one is quoted all the time. There was a couple this season that took off as memes, but I think my favorite's the "I'm alive." I'm going ice skating later, and I told my friend, I was like, if anybody falls, they have to get up and do the audio.
If you could record somebody falling and then pulled like the Drax, like, you must be so embarrassed.
Yeah, I have been trying to think of TikTok ideas for the outing because it's something different would be funny. But yeah, the Drax would be good. So we had that
at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good one. I have people that don't get it when I say it too, and I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the finale was just kind of I mean, it set up the last season decently, but we won't know for 2 years, I'm sure. They haven't announced it, but they've done about 2 years in between each season, which stinks. But all that visual effects, I guess. And then the other thing I watched this week was Ted Lasso, which I enjoyed this episode much better than the first one.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I definitely feel like it brought back. Obviously, the last one was kind of like a filler, like we're bringing Ted back over to London, but this one definitely brought you back into Ted. So
yeah, the humor, I guess, obviously being, back in the UK and whatnot. But I mean, I liked the female players and I can't remember the code.
Roy Kent.
That's what I think too, in a different way. Like she's quieter, but still has the same vibe. But I liked her, so I'm excited to see. And I'm blanking on the character's name, but we just met her. So, but I liked her. I liked Coach Beard being like a wigged out, like homeless man. That was pretty funny.
I need to know what's going on between him and Jane. Like,
yeah, I think they did a good job, like just teasing enough of his story, and then I liked that Roy booby trapped that other locker room pretty much.
Right? I love the chemistry between him and Keeley so far. I'm like, are we getting back together? Are we remaining friends? Like, because as far as I know, Jamie is not in this season. He is doing something else. So
I wondered if it's because he was on Rooster. I don't know like when the filming for both shows happened, but I wondered if it's because he's gone and done this other series. But I mean, it's weird without Jamie, but I think it'll be okay. But yeah, I liked their chemistry too. I would like them back together, but we will see. It's only episode 2.
And we also haven't seen Nate yet, so I don't know if he's still there or so.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the rest of the season. The week by week is killing me.
I know, me too. I feel like a short one should be like a one and done, but I very much enjoyed it more, so I'm excited. Yeah. Did you do anything else this week, or pretty much just Ted?
I think I pretty much just watched Ted, and then I finished our Court of Mist and Fury. I finished that because I was busy this week, so that's pretty much all I did, to be honest.
I know. It's a quiet week. I rewatched some of Glee last night with a friend with drinks. That was an experience. That show was something else. It's still pretty funny, but 100% like wildly inappropriate. So that was my only other thing that just came back to me.
100%.
It and Scream Queens like definitely wouldn't fly today. Well, we'll transition into news. So we'll touch on D23 in just a second, but some of the things this week we had happen in the world of pop culture. The Odyssey is now Christopher Nolan's highest grossing film of all time. Round of applause. That excites me. I loved it. So let's see. I mentioned House of the Dragon has ended for the season. We had the Camp Rock 3 premiere. I think the premiere was last Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the movie aired. This was so weird how they did this layout. So the show or the movie premiered on actual like Disney Channel on Thursday and then was on Disney Plus last night. So that was interesting that it did end up on Disney Channel. I won't see it till tonight, so I don't know if it's any good or
I have not seen it either, so
I'm worried it's going to end up just focusing on mainly like the new kids at the camp, which I mean makes sense. But I'm like, the people who are watching this want to see like the Jonas Brothers and Demi. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's funny. I rewatched both of them this week. I forgot I did that. The second one gave me such bad secondhand embarrassment with that like Camp Rock chant. Like it's funny, but I was on my couch like, oh my God. So we did have that this week. Let's see. Taylor Swift had her first public sighting since the wedding. She was at Annabelle's in London. She got a haircut. I thought it looked cute.
She did.
Still long, but you could tell like she cut quite a bit off. And she had on a super cute little summery dress. So I was like, okay, she's alive and well. We saw the first look at American Horror Story season 13, which is featuring a bunch of original characters. They released the teaser. That's September 24th. I will watch it.
I might actually watch this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched every year up until I guess 9 and 10 were my last ones. I mean, I didn't watch 12. And I think I didn't finish 11 was what it was.
They just
have
only
weren't
watched
good.
until Coven.
Yeah. Yeah, because then that Freak Show was next, which is okay. I loved Hotel. A lot of people don't. And then just kind of from there. So hopefully it's good because it does have a lot of returning cast members, especially Jessica Lange coming back is a huge deal. So that's super cool.
Well, it seemed like from the trailer, they're like combining the seasons. So like we had Evan Peters and he plays Tate from season 1. And then, you know, we had the Coven girls because you have Sarah Paulson's back, Kathy Bates is back, Emma Roberts is back. So like it feels like they're going to like kind of mash it up. So that's why I want to watch because I really enjoyed the first and the third season.
Yeah, that's my understanding is I think they're supposedly what I read originally when this was first announced was they're going to play multiple of their past characters and yeah, like emerging. Because we only saw Evan looks like he's playing Kai in the teaser we saw, which was his character on Cult. And then I think Jessica Lange was Constance. I couldn't tell if it was Constance from Murder House or the Supreme on Coven. Because I mean, she kind of looks the same in both seasons. And then Sarah Paulson was definitely Coven. Same with Emma Roberts. But Coven is like peak, so I don't know.
And then Angela Bassett, she's also playing, and she's Coven because she's playing Marie Laveau.
Yeah, I bet Coven's going to be a big chunk of it. We also saw the rubber man was in the teaser, but that doesn't necessarily, I mean, I'm assuming it's Evan, you know, so Tate, but other people have been in the rubber man suit.
I mean,
over the
if
years.
we could get, what's his name? Dylan McDermott, is that his name?
Yeah.
If we can get him to come back, that would be great. Or even Connie.
Yeah. Murder House is probably my favorite, to be honest, and then Coven. But yeah, I don't know, just the first one's so iconic. So I don't know. I'm curious to see it. I'm hoping it's good because I've missed having a good season of American Horror Story. Because yeah, it was a staple for so long in the fall, and then it just kind of went off the rails a little bit. Let's see. We also had this week Nicole Kidman was she mentioned during the lie detector test thing. I can't remember like who does those, but that she is an A-lister for life with AMC, as she should be. Mother should be able to be in AMC whenever she wants. So that was fun. I mean, Treva knows this, but like the ad at AMC with her, that's like my gospel. Like you stand up and salute, you do the little prayer thing, like it's Mother. So I thought that was funny that they did that. Let's see. Telling you, I got a lot. This ties into D23 a smidget, but kind of not really. I sent this to Treva and we were like, this is so random. But Glenn Powell is reportedly playing Gaston in the Beauty and the Beast prequel. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just random. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I was just like, this is so weird.
It's so random.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I don't think he could do it. Just, I would never would have expected that. So we'll see if that actually pans out.
I don't think he can't do it. For some reason, he doesn't like give like the douchebaggery that is Gaston.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like Chad Radwell.
We had that in Scream Queens, but like that was like a funny-ish douchebag, not like he's not like that extreme as Gaston is. Like,
well, he is on Chad Powers, so his like who he actually is, Russ, not Chad. He fits that pretty well, so maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it, but.
Let's see. The last thing I had, because I woke up to this on my birthday, and that was fabulous, was YSL dropped their summer campaign, and Connor's story was in a little video, and it was to Milli Vanilli, and he looked like Patrick Swayze in it. It had such an 80s vibe, and I was like, thank you for dropping this on my birthday morning. But it's funny, I haven't like gotten excited over any kind of brand like that in a while. Probably not since like Jennifer Lawrence was on all the Dior stuff. Lily Collins was on Lancome. So it's been a while.
It's her birthday today.
It is her birthday. It was meant to be that I mentioned it. So it's funny because I haven't, nobody's done any kind of campaigns in a while that I've been like, oh, like that's exciting. So that's my big recap. Besides, we will get into casting because we had a ton of that across multiple things this week. I'm going to be up front. I'm sorry if I butcher her name. Some of these people I've never heard of prior to any of these castings. So my bad, Alan, if I mispronounce anybody. So bear with me. So the first drop was off campus. I don't know about you, but I was not expecting any kind of casting news. We had Shea Rudolph was announced as Summer De Laurentiis, so we will see. I don't know her. Have you ever heard of her?
I have not.
Yeah, I mean, based off appearance, I was pleased because Summer, to me, I don't know, maybe you disagree, but Summer's one that I felt like they really needed to keep her pretty book accurate because her personality, the way she dresses, acts, all of it, like Hunter calls her Green Witch Barbie, or no, that's I think that's one of Jake's friends calls her Green Witch Barbie. Like she fits just a certain persona. So just based off the little reel they posted, I felt like she looks like a good Summer. And then her standing next to Stephen Kalin, like I feel like they could pass as siblings. So I was like, okay, like I'm okay with this. Do you feel about the same? Have an opinion?
I think she'll be fine. Yeah. I'm more interested on who is going to play Fitzy at this point since they cast Summer.
I thought about that too.
Because their first interaction should be coming if they've already cast her. So.
I would think so because in the score she comes to visit and she sees Fitz in the room at the house and she was that big one. I want him. So like there is a setup.
And then the only other casting I want to know is who's going to play Sabrina.
There's a girl, and I don't know her name, that I've seen pop up a couple times that is rumored to be her. I don't know who she is, but the pictures I've seen, she's super pretty. But I don't know what basing the rumors are in, just because I'm going to be honest, I don't deep dive that much with stuff. But there is somebody rumored, but I don't know. I'm curious, though, like you, to see if we get that now or if it'll be next in this third season. But I'm very curious because Sabrina is another one that to me is very specific in appearance, personality. Like I don't want her personality to be tweaked at all.
No, definitely not.
So we'll see. But I don't know when we'll get that because I don't want too much at once with the next season because, we've already got it'll be Dean and Allie, and then they're going to be building Logan and Grace. So it's like I don't want like a ton happening.
Yeah.
But it could be kind of like they did with Hunter. They drop Fitz in at the end of this one. I don't know. Let's see. And then switching over more hockey, they dropped 5 more people for Heated Rivalry. Emily Hampshire, Sabrina, Jalise, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Edvin Reading is playing Lucas Haas, which is one of the teammates. He was actually the fan cast and it ended up people like, I don't know if they like brought that into the world, whatever. Ended up being cast. Robert Naylor's Wyatt Hayes. Priyanka is going to be Tariq. That was very surprising to me because it's book 3 and the show's supposed to be off of 5 and 6. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know. A lot of people online are worked up, worried it's going to dominate, but I was like, I don't think so. There's not enough time to put all these books in 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Or 12. Supposedly they're filming 2 and 3 back to back. But so, yeah, we had lots of hockey casting this week. I liked all the casting. I was good with it. Then we have X-Men. So I'm like rapid firing all this. So I apologize. We have a lot to go over. So I'm like, I would talk more, but like, we got to get this out. So X-Men, we have the new additions. I won't read the ones already cast. We have Maya Boyd as Storm, Christopher Abbott as Professor X, Indy Navarrete, I'm so sorry, I butchered her last name, is going to be Rogue, and then Adam Driver is Mr. Sinister. So that was all confirmed at D23, which I think every single one of them was a rumored casting that ended up coming to pass. So we're still missing Mystique and Hank now, which I think Charles Melton had dropped out. And then I can't remember who people thought was going to be Mystique. So we'll see on those. And then nobody's been announced as Magneto.
Or Wolverine.
Yeah. So I guess we're still waiting on those. So we can move on into D23 now. On that note, you made a list of all the movies announced.
Yes.
There was a lot.
Yeah, there is. So I'm just going to rapid fire these.
Okay, yeah. Do like I did with the casting. We got to be quick.
We have Incredibles 3, Frozen 3. We did get a first look at Tangled, and Catherine Hahn is playing Mother Gothel, which that was a fan cast, so we're excited about that, or at least I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. We have Coco 2, Zootopia 3. We did get the little announcement about Princess Diaries 3, but Julie Andrews is not reprising her role. We got a little teaser for Lilo and Stitch. They're introducing Angel. We have Ahsoka Season 2. From what I have heard, it is a rumor, I'm not sure how true it is, that Hayden Christensen, his stuff will be filmed alongside Ewan McGregor again, so we will see them together side by side again in Ahsoka Season 2. We have a new Ice Age movie coming. We have a Bluey movie coming. So anyone who enjoys Bluey, I hope you love that movie. We have Percy Jackson Season 3. And then we have Kingdom Hearts series is coming, which if you are like a Game Boy enthusiast, I don't even know. I had it on Game Boy. So for me, it was like a Game Boy game. I loved Kingdom Hearts. So I will be interested to see this season. And then we also had a Star Wars announcement for Starfighter, is what it's called, with Ryan Gosling. He did come out and he had on a Mickey Mouse Club jacket throwback when he was on the Mickey Mouse Club as a kid with Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake and JC. So that was like a cute little throwback that he's coming back to Disney a little bit with the jacket. But I honestly forgot he was going to be in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, because they haven't talked about this one in a while. Once I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember, but it hadn't come up in a while, and it's got Matt Smith is also in it. Let me look. It's got other people in it too, but well, obviously there's other people, but you know what I mean? Like, uh, people who, yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Ryan Gosling, Mia Goth, Amy Adams, Matt Smith are the main characters. And that is May 28th?
It's going to
Or is
be
it
not like
2028?
it's like Glenn Powell Summer, but instead of Glenn Powell, it's going to be Ryan Gosling because we get him in Star Wars and then we get him as Ghost Rider in the MCU. So, and I'm always down to see anything Ryan Gosling.
I know. Well, and he's double dipping now with Marvel and Star Wars, and then Adam Driver's doing it too, Star Wars and now Marvel. But yeah, we will have Ryan Gosling summer next year, or sort of. We'll have because Ghost Rider's 2028, right? I think
so.
But yeah, so we'll have 2 back to back with him. That'll be nice.
Definitely. And that's all I had for the movie section / TV.
Well, that was just day 1 too, which is crazy.
That was all from last night.
Yeah. I saw a little bit before I went to bed and was like, good Lord. And then I got up a little early today because I was like, well, I need to look at it, before we get on for this. And there was more. So I spent the morning like catching up on some stuff. Like we had the Vision Quest trailer for the TV series that comes out October 14th. And we saw Tommy Maximoff grown up-ish for the first time. I thought it looked good. I'm excited for it.
I'm also excited. I do really like Ultron, so James Spader's coming back to that. So that is going to be a nice little like not like a throwback, but like it'll be a nice like little addition to like bring him back in. And like not that he's a bad guy, or maybe he is the bad guy, but it'll be nice to have him at least somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. And the little bits they showed of him, he was pretty funny in the trailer. And then we have like human Jarvis is also in it, things like that, because they're in their human forms in whatever little world that is. But I thought it looked good. I've always liked Vision, and I mean, obviously they consider this Agatha All Along and WandaVision to be like a trilogy with TV, and I've thought all of those have been super well done so far. So I'm stoked. But you've mentioned allegedly this is the last time we'll see Vision, and I hate that.
Well, it says that it's like the final in the trilogy. So I don't know if that means that he is done, like Vision is done,
or just these TV shows.
Yeah, and then we might see him in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Like, I don't know.
And I mean, I guess I kind of go back and forth on like if I'd want him with the Avengers at all again, just to have something fresh. But I have liked Vision, so it'll be a shame if that's the end. But at the same time, maybe it is time to go. Then we also, with trailers, had the Doomsday trailer, the new one.
Yes.
Which we got to hear Dr. Doom talk finally.
I know. And I was was hardcore listening to it to see if I could like distinguish. And obviously it's definitely Robert, but he has like kind of like an accent-ish.
Yeah. A little bit of one.
So I think that'll obviously set him apart from being Tony Stark. And again, we do not see his face once in this trailer. So it does make me wonder if we will see it at all during the movie, or if that'll kind of be like an ending thing leading into Secret Wars that we figure out that he looks like Tony. Yeah,
I don't know, because the only way I guess the 2 ways I could see seeing him is if they do any kind of flashbacks with Fantastic Four and him, because they do set up in the trailer that Sue and Reed and like I'm assuming Johnny and Ben as well, they just didn't do them in the trailer, knew him because they're talking about a little of his history. Reed talks to him in the trailer, obviously you can tell they knew each other. So I don't know, like a flashback, or if when they fight, if his mask comes off. Those are, I feel like
a Bucky situation.
Yeah, like a Bucky situation. Those are the only ways I could see it coming off, but I don't know, it could be left on. And then, like you said, it leads in, to Secret Wars. I don't know. But I think they've done a good job at just revealing little bits about Doom. Because in the first trailer, nobody even says anything about him, like, directly. And then this one starts off right away with Sue talking about him. And then it goes into Reed, and then we hear him talk. So I like the way they've unveiled him. But
I'll be interested to see how everything kind of ties in.
Me too.
We did get a little, like, I wouldn't say it was like a teaser, but we did have Hugh Jackman talk about Doomsday. So I don't know how everything fits in, because like are Deadpool and Wolverine, are they a part of our universe? Are they like in a different universe? And then with the TVA stuff, they're coming into ours. Like, I don't really know how everyone's tying in, or if we're pulling people from other worlds. So obviously it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, since we have so many people. And then obviously Fantastic Four comes over to our world as well, because we got that at the end of Thunderbolts. But I'm excited. I finally got tickets at last night at midnight. So
good. Is it the Infinity Vision, or is it just
no?
I mean,
hey, my theater does not. My theater did not have that. When they announced tickets went on sale yesterday, they only had the theater that you and I went to for the Odyssey, and then they had another one that was farther away, which isn't my theater. And so, like, I was refreshing all day, and my theater wasn't showing anything whatsoever. And for some reason, I woke up at midnight and I checked, and it was there. And I was like, okay, well,
good.
Get my tickets opening day, 2:00.
Okay, so yeah, we'll be seeing it close together. Cool.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you got them.
I was waiting. Yeah. I was like, come on, like.
Yeah, because this is one, like, I feel like you do need to go as soon as you can because of spoilers, and then just honestly being eager, because like you said, I'm curious to see how things unfold, all the different worlds colliding.
Like it's certain Marvel movies I think are okay to wait. Like some of them don't get spoiled as easily. Like I feel like Thunderbolts, like they had like a day before they announced that they were the new Avengers, but like to me that wasn't a big deal versus like missing out like on Spider-Man and like seeing all three Spider-Man together. Like that would have made me so upset to like have that spoiled for me. Obviously it was rumored, but like I needed to go opening day to like confirm myself, and that wasn't like fully spoiled for me.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's the same way with like the Avengers, the last couple, like obviously Infinity War, Endgame, Doomsday. Like those are ones that like I have to see opening day, because if not, it definitely will get spoiled for me on the internet, no matter what platform.
Yeah, because then you just have to choose to stay off, which can be hard sometimes. But yeah, I think it definitely depends on the movie. A lot of the origin ones are usually pretty safe.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess, yeah, mainly origin ones, because I was about to say, like, Captain America Brave New World, I didn't really see anything. Like, after a while, you saw, like, some of the cameos. Like, I think actually I did see pretty quick about Bucky, but again, that's not a huge thing. I didn't really see anything about Fantastic Four, the Last Guardians movies, Ant-Man, stuff like that. Like, I think stuff like that's pretty safe. But some of these bigger ones.
I think like Deadpool and Wolverine was definitely one that like I had to go to opening.
Yes.
It was spoiled for you and I that we knew that Chris Evans was going to be in it as Johnny Storm. I think we had seen rumors that Jennifer Garner was going to be in it.
Yeah,
that wasn't confirmed what we thought. But the real shocker for me, obviously, was Wesley Snipes, because I had no idea that they were bringing in Blade for that. And that was like a real shock. I would have been so upset for that to be spoiled for me.
Yeah, it takes away stuff. So hopefully we don't have any Doomsday problems when it gets here.
I hope not. Like, I want to go into this and be like, okay, obviously we know who is going to pop up so far, because we've seen people, we've seen the trailer, we've had a couple, but it'll be interesting to see who does pop up that we don't know, or we haven't seen in a long time.
That, and then if anybody dies, things like that, I want to see it. I don't want somebody to post a grainy shot of it in my timeline.
I need to be crying with my theater, okay? I don't need to be crying at home.
Well, I don't think I'd cry at home. I think I'd just get pissed at home.
I guess it just depends on who it would be.
Well, I mean, I would have to actually see it, not just read it. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes, very sad. Anyway, while I'm mad for some, and I don't get posting spoilers because I don't ever go online after and be like, oh my God, look at this, so
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
anything, you do like what is it, like the no
Context.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those I think are totally fine to post because most of the time you couldn't figure them out unless you've seen it, and they're very funny.
Don't be like the girl with the with Endgame. That you didn't like Taylor Swift songs, so Iron Man's dead. You're welcome. I will never get over that. That was the greatest tweet of my life.
Yeah. Yes. No, we will not do that. Or I don't know, if somebody makes me mad about something I like. You don't like XYZ?
You're going to say Bucky's dead.
Goodbye
Happy
to
New Year.
Bucky! That's what I was about to say. I was literally about to say Bucky. Bucky's dead.
I 100% think he's one of the ones going.
I'm
so sorry.
I do too. I hate it, but I also feel like I've accepted it at this point. Like,
and it's going to DC. I mean? Okay, we've never had two people. I'm pretty sure we've
been
never
lucky
had two
to have
people
Bucky
do
as
that.
long as we have. Yeah. So I think there's just a lot of things. I mean, I also wouldn't blame him if he's ready to move on and do something else after over 10 years, so like I've accepted it. We've gotten more of Bucky than I ever would have thought. So I'm okay with it. Like, it sucks, but at this point I feel like anybody who's been around a long time is fair game.
Unless they have a movie coming out,
yeah.
I guarantee you they are getting a bucket. Wakanda, you're safe.
Yeah. Wakanda, I think probably the Fantastic Four are safe.
I think they're safe this round.
Yeah.
Because I want to say that they have a can. I think they're supposed to be in Secret Wars. So I think they're safe this time around.
Thor, I don't know. So we'll see.
I think Thor's getting another movie.
See, I do too for some reason.
But they introduced Brett as Hercules, so that's got to go somewhere, right?
I would think so, but I mean, they've introduced other people that never went anywhere, and we'll never know why. Like,
I mean, maybe we'll get the Eternals. Maybe they'll make a little cameo. They'll be like, "Hey, what's up?"
I feel like, oh my God, we haven't seen you since. I don't even remember what year that came out now, to be honest. It's been so long.
I don't even know.
So we'll check it out. You ready to dive into ACOTAR? Because we got a whole book to cover.
Yes. Let me pull up my notes. I don't have very many notes on this, to be completely honest. So I'm gonna default to you on most of this.
Okay. So we talked because the readings for this week came so close to the end of the book. We're just gonna go ahead and finish Mist and Fury. So just if you're looking at your schedule and you're like, oh, what are they doing? This is why. So let me see. Oh, it makes me nervous to like do a whole book because there's so much. It was so big. But I love Mist and Fury, so I very much enjoyed rereading it. Okay.
It was okay for me. This isn't my favorite book, but it was okay. I kind of got annoyed towards the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I'll talk about that when we
I was gonna say, when we get there, let me know why you were annoyed.
Okay.
So essentially, this book starts 3 months after Under the Mountain. Farah's back at the spring court. She's basically like withering away, in my opinion. Understandably, everybody that was under there went through trauma. And for the most part, can't speak for everybody, but for the most part, people don't bounce back after trauma. And Tamlin is just not noticing, or he's ignoring it, one or the other. He's clearly also dealing with some stuff after Under the Mountain, but he's not dealing with it great either. But she's having nightmares and things like that, and he just sleeps through them. And I don't know, that really turns me off. And so he starts to try to keep her he tries to keep her safe so that she begins a lot of staying inside and not doing anything. And you can just tell she's depressed. They are also engaged at this point, we find out. And which when I reread, I was like, ah. It's disgusting. Even though I I knew like it was coming. We do find out during this point, he makes the comment that there's no such thing as a high lady, which just cracks me up, like knowing, what she ends up becoming in the night court.
Yeah.
Let's see. She wants to help rebuild things after everything that happened. He doesn't want her having any part of it. He keeps her trapped at home, basically. I can never pronounce the priestess's name, so you say it for me.
Her name is Ianthe. Is her name?
Ianthe. Okay, that's what I thought.
That is my first note. Fucking Ianthe.
Yeah. So we meet her here.
She's god awful.
And pretty much is kind of acting like Farrah's best friend, things like that. And which, especially reading it a second time, like you can tell it's like a manipulative friend situation. You can just tell the bad vibes. So they have their wedding ceremony and she's freaking out in her head, doesn't want to do it. And Reese pops up at the wedding like, surprise, bitch. Bet you thought you'd seen the last of me, and swoops her away.
That is after Ianthe is like, oh, you haven't heard from the High Lord of the Night Court. He's probably running scared because Tamlin has his full powers back. I was like, bitch.
No. Like, we know who the most powerful High Lord is. But we find out.
But then at the wedding, when he shows up, it literally says that she basically runs away.
Yeah, she does. She gets out of there. So if Tamlin is scared of Reese, why are you running when Reese appears?
My other note I do have here, before we move on, that I 100% don't understand how Feyre still wants to be with Tamlin, because at the time, even before Reese shows up, he's telling Feyre basically, like, all she's kind of good for is
being a wife and having babies.
There. Yeah. So I don't understand how she still wants to be with him. At this point, I feel like you can clearly see that he's kind of just using her. Because they keep talking about, like, people want her. Like, she's the curse breaker and all of this stuff. Like, they have to keep her safe. They have to keep her safe. Like, the other High Lords will want her. And so my thing is like, how can she not see that Tamlin is, at this point, has used her and is using her?
The only thing I can think, at least at the beginning of this book, is she's just so out of it and depressed that it's not computing all of the way. Yeah, because as it goes on and she starts to get a little better, she does start clocking that. And so that's the only thing I can think is just, if you've ever dealt with any kind of depression or anything, that there's some stuff that you just don't care about or you're not paying attention. And that's all I can think is she just wasn't recognizing it 100%. I know she doesn't like being kept up and not get to go places, but I don't think it was pushing further than that yet, that he's wanting to suppress. I don't know if that's the right word, but like not train her, not let her learn how to use her powers, things like that. I mean, essentially.
At this point, she still can't read and write. So
yeah,
saying.
Which and he doesn't care because he just wants somebody to sit there and be pretty, and like that's fine in an instance if mutual people are agreeing upon that. But Farrah's never been that type of personality, so. It's an extra layer of insulting. But when Reese takes her to the night court, talks about how beautiful it is, all that, like, total, like, 360 from the spring court, which the spring court gives me such bad ick because, like, I don't like pollen and flowers. And so anyway, I wouldn't go out there personally. Yeah.
Nope.
But he starts to teach her how to read and use her mental shields and things like that to start helping her with. That's a basic thing. And he has a little bit of motivation for things later with it, like, but also he does say it was to help her. And
we do meet our first side character when we go to the Court of Nightmares, which is where she's currently staying.
So that's when Moore comes in and we learn that she's his very distant cousin. And we learn about the impending war with Hybern, which he wants to destroy the wall that protects the mortals from the fairies. And then the week is up and she goes home and Tamlin interrogates her about the night court.
It's not just Tamlin. Lucian is also there asking questions.
Yeah. So like as soon as she gets back, they're on her. And he refuses to train her powers. She's angry about it, of course, understandably. And this is when we start to see the relationship really deteriorate. I mean, I would say like
Mm-hmm.
yes, after like calling off the wedding, basically. But this I feel like was like the downhill of it.
Yeah.
Um, which I just saw another one of my notes that I forgot to mention. This was prior to the wedding, but it was the tithe. I made a note. He is giving Robert Pattinson in the Odyssey with somebody get these beggars out of here. So
But
I need
later
you to
that
backtrack.
does work out. Later that does work out in Feyre's favor.
Yes,
So
because of the water wraiths. But yeah,
yes.
I looked at it like, oh, I forgot to do that. And we do learn about the tithe later, and essentially he doesn't have to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
when she comes back the second time, she's under more lock and key, tighter than before.
I
She
wouldn't even call it lock and key. Like he full on
we
not
wards
letting
the
her leave the
house.
house.
And yeah, so he puts her, locks down with the wards. She basically loses it. She cocoons herself in darkness, and that's when Moore comes in and takes her back to the night court. And she learns more about Reese and Amarantha and the things that went down there. Let's see. And this is when they go to the bone carver for the first
Oh, we gotta
time.
go. We gotta go to Valaris first,
Well, yes. That's oh well, yes.
and meet our favorite other side characters.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting all over the place. It's a lot. This
No, you're
yeah.
good. No,
So we
I'm just
do
gonna keep jumping in here.
that helps. We do meet the Bat Boys. We learn a little about them in the House of the Wind. Um which is fun to get to see them come in. And then, yes, at that point, they do go to the bone carver, which
Yes,
it's crazy because we do know later the form of the little boy he was taking.
and that's only Farah that can,
Mhm.
because he looks
He looks
different to
different to,
everybody.
yeah, he looks like Jurian, I think, to Reese when they
I think
go.
so.
And we learn about the book and the cauldron
And more of Feyre's magic, because she
mhm,
should be able to sense, since she has the kernel of power from
mhm,
each High Lord, she should be able to sense like I wouldn't say like objects, but like certain things that maybe have like sentimental value, I guess,
mhm.
maybe.
Yeah. So they feel like she can get the Book of Breedings, at least because it's in halves.
Yeah.
So these
But
mortal queens have one, and the others at the summer court.
yes, but first Reese has to test her to make sure
Hmm.
that she can actually find these items.
Which leads to the Weaver, which is our next adventure.
That's an adventure all in itself.
And she goes into this house and is told not to make a sound, don't touch anything. The Weaver she's I mean, it's a girl, or I think it's a female, is
Yes.
blind but not deaf. Is that what it
Yes.
is?
Yes, correct.
And she's supposed to find this ring. She's told she'll sense it and is drawn to it, and it's a ring that's in his family. And she does find it. She's got to fight her way out. She goes up the chimney like Santa Claus to get away from the Weaver, and gets back to Reese. And
I do have a note here, sorry. My note I have that this is the first mention of the 6-pointed star on the ring.
okay, yeah.
So this is the first time we've heard about it. Obviously, it comes in later with with Bryce and with Nesta and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I thought it was interesting that we had the 6-pointed star not only with them, but now I missed it the first time around. But this is Farah's ring, essentially. Obviously, we'll get
Mm-hmm.
to that and later. But she has the 6-pointed star on the ring, so I will be
Mm-hmm.
interested to see in the new book if that also
Yeah.
comes of anything.
Anything like that feels like such a small detail, but a lot of things wind up being important later. And especially as we read the next books, maybe try to keep track of that and see if you catch it anywhere else. Because I know it comes up, but yes, so this is the first sighting of it on the ring. And Then we go into the mortal world where she has a meeting with her sisters. This is the first time they see her as High Fae.
Mm-hmm.
And they want basically the house to be a meeting place with the queens, kind of like a base in the mortal world. Um, we also Nesta like rejects it at first. Cassian and Nesta spar off a little bit. It's the first interaction we get of them, which it's funny reading a second time because I do feel like I caught stuff between them, which is intentional, I'm sure later because they do end up being mates. Um, and we Reese sends the letters to the queens by this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Elaine gets Desta to agree to
Mm-hmm.
write the letter. I know that Fair brings up that Elaine is engaged to
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what Grayson is. Like,
I can't remember, but it's a Faye hating family.
yeah. It is. I have a note that is interesting to see Nesta defend Elaine so much. I don't understand.
Babies are.
Like they all do.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the later books,
Yeah.
everyone babies Elaine, and I don't understand. Obviously in Nesta's book, we kind of see Elaine kind of flip her script a little bit and isn't close with Nesta. She kind of, I guess, more aligns herself with Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see how much Nesta defends Elaine, but then when push comes to shove, Elaine will not defend
Mm-mm.
Nesta.
Yeah. Net or Elaine is. I just and maybe this is going to change down the road, but like at this point in time, she just doesn't seem to be as good of a sister as the other two. And like, obviously, Nesta is challenging. We've talked about that with the first book. But I feel like she does show up in different ways. Like we did see, she did try to get Farrah back. Like she did try something, and then, like you said, she's very defensive and protective of Elaine. But Elaine, I just don't feel like reciprocates that. Like, yes, she did get Nesta to agree, to be the base and all of that, but I don't know. I just don't feel like she's on the same level as being a sister. And I just don't know if it's personality or what. Because sometimes Elaine feels selfish to me in a different way than Nesta.
Mm-hmm. But yes, we did get the letter sent off, and we're waiting
Yes.
to hear back from the queens.
hmm So they head back to Valeris. They do stay overnight with the Archerons and then go home. Then we have the trip to the summer court, which is Farah, Reese, and Amryn. And we meet Tarquin and the summer court. And I hate it because it seems like he genuinely wants to be friends with Reese and like have an alliance. So it stinks the way things play out. While
I
they're
definitely think I definitely think if they asked for the book, he would have given it to them, to
I
be
thought
completely
that I
honest.
thought that too. That might have played out different. While they're there and trying to figure things out, Farah is kind of flirting with him and whatnot, and he's doing it a little bit back. We see Reese gets jealous, and Reese is also kind of playful with God, I can't remember her name. It's somebody in his court, in Tarquin's court.
Um,
I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, it's a female. And
Cressida. That's her
yes,
name.
yes.
Cressida.
And Farrah is getting jealous. So we have a little bit of that back and forth the whole time. Because during all of up to this point, you can tell Reese and Farrah's relationship is starting to develop more as she's getting trained. They're getting to know each other. She's figured out, by this point that Reese isn't the monster demon that I feel like the whole Fae world has made him out to be. And so they do end up stealing the book, and Amryn and Farah go to get it out of what is it in? I always picture
It's
a
like a
lighthouse.
mausoleum type
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know why, but I always picture like a lighthouse. But yeah, you're right. That is technically what it is, and it's protected. And
Because it's basically it depends on the tide. Because
mhm.
it's I think at like high tide you can't see it or something. And
Yeah.
then at low tide, they can like get in, but then I think it's the book. The book figures out, or like the box or something, figures out that
Mhm.
she's not really Tarquin and basically like floods the whole thing.
Yes. And then the water wraiths wind up saving them, and we do find out it was because of Farah giving her jewelry to the wraith at the tithe, and so that her kindness circled back and saved them. Then they go back home and they receive the blood rubies, which is basically like, you screwed us, like we're after you, from the summer court. And Rhys is pretty upset about it because he felt like he made a mistake in stealing it. And like you were just saying, like he debated whether or not they should have just asked, but he also was hesitant on how much information to give about what was going on and why they needed the book. And that made me sad to see, because we don't see Rhys like question a lot of stuff throughout the series, but this genuinely bothered him because he felt like Tarquin did genuinely want to be friends, because he's a newer High Lord. We do learn that. And, so I hate that. Then we do return back to the mortal world where the queens have arrived. They've agreed to the meeting, but they only will... they're going to consider lending the book only if they can see proof that Rhys isn't a monster. And so Rhys,
he basically has to like give up something like he loves, which is Valaris.
Yeah. And he's going to do it through an orb.
The orb.
That is in the Court of Nightmares. And so they go get that from the Court of...
Yes, the Court of Nightmares.
Yes. Okay, yeah. I was like, when does this happen? So they go take it, and we do find out through this portion of the book about Eris. We learn a little about him and more, and her family selling her, so we start to learn a little bit more of her background. During this, we also find out that Miriam and Draken are alive. That was around the time they meet the queens, so we're starting to unearth some history here.
And then Farah also finds out that Miriam is the only other one that kind of has been granted this gift. She is not High Fae. She has just been gifted a long life.
Yes. Yeah, and that they are, they're basically on like an island, right? Is that what I understood? Yeah. And so we also get our first visit, and while at the Court of Nightmares, Farah essentially plays like, I don't know, Rhys's like side piece and is up on his lap and whatnot. And everybody has their role to play while they're there, while Azriel steals the orb. At some point during this, it might be before the Court of Nightmares, we hear the first jokes about wingspan being equivalent to the size of their, their business, and that Azriel is allegedly allegedly the biggest.
I think that's been confirmed.
Okay. I think it's been confirmed too, because I thought that when I read it again. Before they leave, Rhys pretty much whoops Moore's dad, breaks some bones, tells him he can't see a healer because of some remarks he made about Farah. So this is our really first taste of the Court of Nightmares, and it's nasty.
Then I can't remember if is this before or after that, where they're training. Maybe it's after this that Rhys is training Farah how to work her powers, trying to do all this stuff, and Lucian shows
it's
up.
after. Yeah, I've got it in the order because we have Starfall first.
Okay.
And which that's one of my favorite things in the whole series. We have Starfall, and this is when we have the iconic scene with Rhys and Farah on the little private balcony with them. And this is, I feel like, really the first taste where I was like, okay, yeah, like they're into each other kind of thing. I think it's pretty clear by that point. We find out about more in Cassian's history with her virginity and why she chose to do that. Then we go to the war camp, the Illyrian war camp. So we get to see and we learn what all that looks like. And while there and they're training, Rhys and Farah, and we learn what the blood rite is as well, which we'll talk more when we get to Nesta's book. But we also learn about Rhys and Tamlin's history more so. He trained Tamlin, he befriended him, And then Tamlin's family killed Reese's mom and sister. They thought Reese would be there and just killed them anyway. So then Reese's family retaliates. And Tamlin kills Reese's dad.
Yes.
After Reese's dad kills Tamlin's dad and brothers. And
his mom. The tipping point was his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So basically, the Tamlin family's wiped out, and then Tamlin kills Reese's dad, and both of them are made High Lords on the same night. And then, anyway, transitioning, we do have when Lucian and the other Spring Court members,
the Sentries,
bombard them and try to take her. She shifts for the first time with the wings and kind of scares the crap out of them. And then we have the one bed at the inn with Reese and Farah, and they cuddle and all that. And you learn a little more about the sensitivity of the wings and things. And she does not have nightmares for the first time, I believe, in the whole book at this point when they're staying at the inn. And they're being careful with traveling because who's ever tracking them can track Reese's magic. So, then the next day, they're flying. Reese is carrying her. He's shot out of the sky like a bird. And at this point, a bunch of ash arrows. She tracks him down, wants to heal him. We learn about the dressers she painted during this portion, which had the different drawers for each sister, which was flames for Nesta, flowers for Elaine, and then she did stars. So we learned that at this point. And then she decides to trap the Suriel to get information. She sets out a new robe for him. So of course he appears because he's got some new digs waiting for him. And which, by the way, the Suriel is like, it doesn't have a gender. I always say he. I don't know if that's okay or not. But I guess technically it isn't it. But anyway, this is when it drops the lore, if you want to speed your mate's healing. And she's like, what? And it's like, oh, you didn't know? Oh my God. And like, oh God, I love the Suriel. And so she learns that Reese is her mate, and she says, did he know? How long? All that. So the Suriel is just like so thrilled, like at the drama it created, like XOXO Gossip Girl. And so she goes back.
It's the OG Gossip Girl.
It is the OG Gossip Girl with the hottest tea in Prythian. And so she goes back and heals Reese. And then she's mad at him for not telling her, which, I mean, understandable. I get it. So they go back to the war camp the next day, and she tells Moore to get her out of here. So they go to the cabin, and what's also called a cottage at one point too, the cabin, cottage.
I always call it the cabin.
I do too, but Farrah calls it a cottage once during that chapter, and I was like, the hovel. It's not the hovel.
Different hovel.
Different hovel. And so while she's there, she just paints the whole house, does what she wants. Moore pops in to check on her a couple of times. Over the course of being there, she starts to realize like she does love and want Reese, and kind of gets why he kept things. Then he shows up and he tells his side of the story, basically through the war and leading up to when he started to have dreams of her. So like he saw the dresser. He talks about on Calamari when they encounter each other. Calumet, whatever. Fire Night. Girl, I've been listening to this whole book. Cut me some slack. And she basically is like, I'll hear you out. And that's when he tells the story, and then decides at the end whether or not she wants to accept the mating bond, which she does by feeding him. He tells his side of the story, all the under the mountain stuff. And then they go crazy and consummate every part of that cabin. And we learn kind of how the mated males act crazy and just protective, all that. And then they go back to the camp. Everybody knows they've done the dirty and they've accepted the bond. And then we meet the queens again. And they see the orb. They do not want any part of it, basically. And then the Golden Queen does leave the book. And during this portion, something I did make a note about is Cassian wipes a tear off of Nesta and she allows it, which kind of shocks Farah. And it says like she looks away, like I guess uncomfortable. And then Nesta also realizes at this point in time why Farah was painting the stars on the dresser, because she does bring up the dresser. And then we go back home, and that's when crap hits the fan. Do you want to recap real quick the end, or do you want me to keep going?
So I want to say that
Valeris is attacked next.
Well, as far as the queens go, not all of them show up to the meeting.
No, because one's missing.
Yes, and then I think it's the Golden Queen.
Don't trust them.
She leaves the book for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Rhys's letter, basically saying he's in love with this girl, wants to save her village, her family. And so that's why she brought the book, which was a mistake clearly on her part, because once they go back home with the book, the queens have essentially told Hybern about Valeris, and they killed the queen on like a lamppost, the Golden Queen. And then there's like a bunch of adders. They're trying to destroy Valeris. So there's like a mini battle, I guess you would call it, maybe. And Valeris to like save it. And then after that, they've decided with both half of the books, because at this point, Amren is like reading up on the old language because she hasn't seen it in like millennia, I think is what they say. And then from there, we go to Hybern because that's where the cauldron is, because we finally figured out during all this time that there were sanctuaries being like ransacked. And for the longest time, they couldn't figure out why. And then the bone carver told them, you know what's going on, like whatever. So they know it's the cauldron. So they're trying to nullify the cauldron. So they go to Hybern. Hybern knows that they're coming. So this is like a big trap. I want to say Jurian is there to like distract them while Hybern puts up like wards or something. And then from there, Azrael gets shot through the chest with an ash arrow. And then he does something with the cauldron that like makes it explode. And then Cassian's wings get shredded.
Yeah, because he folds him out to shield, and then
shield Azrael. Yeah. And then from there, we find out that this is all kind of just like a big sham. He knew they were coming. He knows that they have the book. They know that Fair's trying to nullify the cauldron. And then we find out who is also involved, because he brings out Tamlin and Lucian, because Tamlin has made a deal that Hybern can use his lands as long as he can take Feyre back away from Rhys.
Gag.
And then what we also find out is Ianthe has completely betrayed everybody because she wants to control everything per usual. She basically, I want to say like she rats out Feyre's sisters. So then they bring out Nesta and Elaine and proves to the mortal queens, because they're also there. It's like this big fucking group.
It's like,
just like, hey guys, how's it going?
It's like the OxyClean commercials that was like, but wait, there's more, and more things keep happening.
It really is. So the queens want to be made high fae, and for some reason they know that the cauldron can do it. So to prove that it works, he shoves Nesta and Elaine in. Elaine goes in first, comes out. She's gross, wet, and Lucian goes, "You're my mate." So there's that. That's great. Nesta gets shoved in. Nesta is not going willingly at this point. She's like, "Fuck you." she like points at Hybern as she's being pushed into the cauldron. Yeah. She comes out. She sees Lucian holding onto Elaine. Is like, "Get away from her. She's not your mate."
And at this point, notes that something's different about Nesta, that she took more or something because of the fight she put up to.
Yes.
And she comes
out. She took more than she should have.
Yeah, she comes out like a bat out of hell toward Elaine.
I think they call her a wildcat at some point.
Yes, they do.
And then at that point, Feyre like, I don't even like know. She like flips the script, I guess, and was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, Reese did this to me. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to go home, Tamlin. Like, please break this bond
Mm-hmm.
between us." And at that point, I couldn't tell whether she was like what bond she was talking about, because it doesn't. I don't think it specifically says what bond. She just says
Yeah,
break the
I
bond.
think they're supposed to be saying the mating bond, because yeah, that's what I thought. And she knows it can't be broken, but they have the bargain, which
Yeah,
could be. So, I mean, because she's playing them, and thankfully
yeah.
Reese catches on to what's going on. They do that
Moore
kind of stuff
catches on
well.
first.
Hmm.
Because Moore is like, what did you do to her? Like,
Yeah.
how could
Yes.
you have done this to
Yeah.
this
So
girl?
yeah. So they've got a whole little group going on, which is awesome, and just shows how well, the night court works well together.
And then from there, she tells Hybern to break the bond. He quote unquote breaks the bond,
Hmm.
which is just the
The
one,
bargain.
yeah, the one week with Reese every month. So that gets broken. She uses, I think it's her, is it her dawn power
Hmm.
to like make herself super super bright and like is
Hmm.
breaking the bond. And then at that point, she's like gone into Hybern's mind, I think, and like broken the wards. And then so she's like
Uh,
trying to like tell more, like, because she like winnows over to like Tamlin to shows that she like has broken the wards and to like
hmm.
get her sisters out.
Yes, yeah. And then,
And then they leave, and then she goes back to the spring court with Tamlin and Lucian.
hmm.
And at that point, we break off into two POVs. We get the first one, which is Reese, who's saying, I've let my mate go to the spring court. Feyre knows what she's doing.
Hmm.
Amryn is upset because she does
She's
not
like,
go to Hybern.
yeah. Well,
And she's
and
like,
she's mad that, yeah, she's your mate. Like, go get her.
yeah,
And he's
she's your mate.
basically
Go
like,
get her.
I trust her. And then the High Lady of the Night
And
Court bomb is
yeah, and
dropped.
then he tells her that she's the High Lady of the Night Court.
Hmm.
She has her role. She knows what she's doing. Like,
Which
she'll
is
come back when she's ready.
badass. Like, I eat that up.
And
So
then,
yeah.
and then the next part is Feyre in the spring court, and she is, I think like Tamlin checks her left hand to make sure there's no bargain tattoo.
Hmm.
And then at the end, she's like, "Little did they know, under my right glove was my mark." The day before they had gone and they had basically
Yeah.
secretly gotten married, and she was sworn in as a High Lady of the Night Court. And little
Hmm.
did they know that she was the High Lady of the Night Court because they
And he
didn't take
led
off her
her
other
into
glove.
his territory. And then she's glamoring it too. So, yeah, because they're talking about what it's like to get married, not get married, things like that, Reese. And she's like, I want to do it all. And he's like, what if we took it a step further? And we don't find out in that chapter what that is. And then here's the fill in the blank that he made her High Lady of the Night Court. After Tam Tam said there are no High Ladies, Reese was like, hold my beer.
And that's
So
the end of Mist and Fury.
that's the book. So we've got Feyre in the spring court ready to destroy them from the inside out. So, but yeah, I hope that was a okay recap. It's like there's so much in this book, and we've got. Then also we've gone over an hour, so I was like, okay, like we gotta wrap up too. So,
Well, I was gonna say, next week
we won't have a whole book to cover.
Yeah.
It'll just be chapters. But
yeah.
I'm stoked. I'm excited. We're making our way through it, and we'll touch more on it next time. Only because we went over, I'll say let's pass on our wheel today. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to drag people out super super long. But yes, I'm excited. I've enjoyed rereading these and getting stoked. And maybe we'll have something next week to talk more about with the new book. We can touch more on that Autumn Court stuff next week. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not, but we can touch more on that next time. But maybe we'll have
Sounds
something
good.
by then. I don't know.
Maybe.
So,
We still don't.
no, my powers didn't work. I'm sorry. But anyway, we will wrap up for this week. This was a big one. We had a lot to cover. The reading, timing, just, yeah, I think it worked out to do it all today. So, well, until next time, bye, everybody.
Bye.